Sorry about that. I had a little phone interruption there. Didn't realize that somebody'd be calling when I was shooting my video. So we want to make sure that we focus on the people that do need our attention. However, we have to also realize that we're setting an example regardless of what we're doing. So make sure that you set your office hours, you give them a best method of communication first is to check out your Facebook page or your website, go to the home office site, give them all of the channels of communication that you prefer. And then if they really do need a voice-to-voice conversation, they can leave a message for you, unless it's during part of your office hours when you're taking live calls, and let them know what those hours are, right? Absolutely makes sense. All right, so let's see. Do I take calls from my leaders at any time during the day? I kind of told you that story. No, I did. It really cut back into people wanting to promote and have my position, so I changed that right away. And then how do I handle my personal recruits? Of course I handle them first. I work with my new, the strong, my frontline as well, because that's very, very important. But I have systems in place. I recommend that you work everything in your business from systems, because it's going to save you so much time, and you're not always going to be wondering if you've actually put in things into place or if you've done them. It also helps to support you when you've got systems in place, because it makes it duplicable. So you're going to have the promotion of leaders and development of leaders so much more quickly if you do that. So let me just give you a couple of other tips and things that I put together in regards to thinking about, allocating your time and making sure that you've got some work and life harmony in place. Busyness really doesn't mean that we're going to have an increase in business or income. Busyness doesn't do anything for us. We do want to be working actively and purposely for our business, but we don't want to just be doing things for busy work, right? Be clear with your team on how to communicate and really support them with what's going to work best, as well as your expected response times. There are no direct selling emergencies. Nobody dies because a product wasn't delivered properly. Nobody, catches on fire or has anything else happen to them if you don't text them back right away or call them back right away. So definitely keep that in mind. Let the people know, these are my office hours. This is when I'm returning calls. This is when I'm available for live calls. And then work from those allocated time slots. You want to make sure, again, like I said, that you work from and implement systems and work from them, that you've got your office hours. Let people know how many hours you're going to be returning calls and, when you'll be available for live calls. I've even had some leaders that have a conference line, and they get on a conference line at the very beginning of their office hours each day for 15 minutes. And they just, for anybody that wants to call in and participate, there's a little fun encouragement or quote or something like that at the beginning. And then they're available for any of those questions to start the business day each day. So it's up to you. One thing I'm going to really encourage you to just refrain from is to stop multitasking. I think you'll be surprised at how much more efficient you'll be in your business when you stop multitasking. Start focusing on your income producing activities, work from those time blocks, and make sure that you're prioritizing your work. Maximize what you're doing with on-the-job training. Many of the activities that you're going to be training on, teaching, talking about will be able to be handled as you are just going about doing your personal business, and just have someone shadow you alongside of you. It makes a big difference. Make sure that you delegate what you can. Have a support team that rotates through watching your Facebook page. You don't have to answer every single one of those questions. Empower some of your emerging leaders by allowing them to participate and encouraging them. Barter for an assistant. If you need assistance in your office, make sure that you are doing that in a cost-effective way. A great way to do that is to barter product. And a rule of thumb is, if someone can do it 80% as well as you can, that you need to delegate that task. Okay? Make sure you turn off your phone and your instant messenger. Use voicemail as your assistant to be able to gather most of those questions, because if you use voicemail, you can usually type back a very quick response. I don't recommend that you text, because people expect dialogue back and forth. I recommend that you just email, let them know that will be how they'll get their response, because then, it's not so much of that back and forth, to save you a little time, Sarah. Also, check your email and your social media at specific times each day, and let people know that you'll, if you check every 12 hours, 24 hours, whatever it is for you, just so that they can realize that you're not going to sit on Facebook and waste your time. You're going to be running an effective business and an effective home. I have a product called the Leaders Income Producing Activity Calendar. It's available on my website. On there, I've put together different systems that you can work from on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays. It's just a list of different tasks that most successful direct sellers use. There's also some fun prospecting ideas and things like that to track your business as well. But one of the things that I wanted to point out is I knew every single Monday what I was going to do. Every single Tuesday, Wednesday, all the way through the week. And I made sure that I had the communication in place so that my team didn't have a lot of questions, didn't feel like they had to have a lot of that time. We enable our people a lot of times, and I want to make sure that you're not doing that. So a couple of tips here, like on Mondays, you might want to give them a weekly focus and celebration. Send that out as, an email, text, voice, phone tree, whatever you want to do. But give them a weekly focus and then a time of celebration from what had happened over the weekend. Also, maybe on Tuesdays, set up your coaching appointments. Wednesdays, schedule, your social media posts, as well as have a Woohoo Wednesday where people can come in and post and you can comment on some things that are happening in their business. And maybe Friday, put together a weekend target and focus for the weekend for business. But whatever your schedule is, put it into place. Work at it, tweak it if you need to do that a little bit, if the time frames and time blocks aren't working for you. But Sarah, I hope this helped to answer your question on how to work more effectively with your communication and your team. And for everybody else, be sure to go over to one of the Facebook pages, the Christian Direct Seller or Direct Sales Specialist, or even go over to my website if you're not already receiving some of the videos free. That's another great thing is, have your team sign up for the newsletter so that they get the training videos from me each and every week. That's going to take away some of that responsibility from you as well. I hope that you have a great week. Post your questions. I'd love to hear your comments and any other tips that you have for communicating with your team below. Take care. God bless you, and I'll see you again next week. Bye now.